Toronto FC, Montreal Impact here at BMO Field.
Set the first tackle, set the tone.
Right for the start, intensity. Start well. Start well.
My relation with soccer, football is, I can't even describe it. Like, it's my life. Every footballer will tell you that.
Enjoy being out there.
It's hard to explain. It's something that you just love, just kicking a ball and doing it with teammates, and it's a way of life.
It was my first love, my first passion. It's grown into a way to pay for college, to a job to help feed my family, and also a platform to help influence others, hopefully in a positive way.
Obviously, it's our jobs at this point, and we're professionals, but enjoying the game is the most important part of it.
I enjoy it. I love training. I love being out there, and it's a passion of mine. It's something that it's a part of me.
Toronto FC would need to win both of their remaining games and hope Columbus don't pick up another point.
It's the only thing I really know. Really from the time that I've been able to walk up until today, it's aside from my family, the only thing that's always been there in my life.
As we get underway with Toronto FC in the red, only a win will do if Toronto FC are to at least keep their playoff hopes alive for 24 hours.
All about the last home game of the season at BMO Field against the Montreal Impact, with their slim playoff hopes is still alive. They need to win out, obviously, get their job done first, and hope for some help from the Columbus crew.
There's supposed to be, I believe, 1,500 Montreal fans traveling here, so it is going to be a hostile environment.
After going 10 months of playing, and then all of a sudden you're going to be done for a little bit at least is weird. You've put so much into this season, every day working out, training with the guys, going through tough times, going through days where we come back from a 2-0 deficit, but it's a journey for sure.
Sean's our community
Sean,
manager.
how's it going? Nick,
Congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Huge test at the end of the day. Every single name, I mean everything.
Everything. You didn't tell me before I met everyone. It was funny, before this draft, I was like, I have no idea where I'm going to be next week. And now that I've been picked up by Toronto, I'm like, I'm going to be in Toronto next week.
It's a great city too.
It is.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
How you doing, man?
How's it going? I'm Nick.
Dwayne, how you doing?
Danny.
How you doing, Dwayne?
Settling in now that I'm in Toronto. When I was putzing around my parents' house, it was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm supposed to be playing professional soccer. I'm sitting in my mom's house right now. What am I doing? It's fun going to Columbus, especially just because family and friends are going to be there. And so this is the trip. I said April 5th, this is the game. I have to be in the 18 because I want my friends and family to see me out there.
Lovitz trying to cushion the ball towards the back post. Hagglund's there. Hagglund scored. Toronto FC are back in the game.
Thanks, man. First MLS goal. Check it out. I got a ball.
2 rookies. It's great that we've had the careers we've had so far, and I know probably if you asked both of us in the beginning of the year if we would have been happy with our own little stories and how they planned out by the end of our rookie year, I would have been jumping at the bit, and I know Nick would have been as well.
Right.
There's tons of big changes. One, I'm engaged. So after New York 2-0 win, I drove home in the middle of the night and then proposed to my girlfriend of 5 years. So that's a huge change. I think just friends. I've been hanging out with Danny Lovitz a lot, and Mark Bloom and Justin Morrow, and guys on the team, Colin. And then just my living situation, being in Canada, again, is a huge thing.
The first time I saw Nick, I was like, wow, he's a really excited kid.
I've seen tons of Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons is the order of the day.
Tim Hortons.
He's indescribable. He's a character.
The freshest water ever. I can't drink, it's too cold. I'm gonna burn freeze.
He walks into a room and he's always the first one to talk. He's always got something to say. Either he's singing a song or making a stupid, weird noise.
Rachel Ray, you here? Boom, you see it crash.
I got blisters on my fingers.
This is my partner, the Count. She's gonna pin me. Help me.
I'm an outgoing guy, but Nick's something special. I think everybody that meets him knows that.
What's your name?
Mikey.
Mikey? What position you play?
Midfield.
Midfield, nice.
Some guys, when they're put in a position where they have to play out of position, you know, they don't like it, but he just took the opportunity and ran with it, worked as hard as he can, did well, and then when the time came for him to show in his position, he did well. And so I'm really happy for him.
I think it would be funny to say whirlwind because it's 10 months and it's not fast at all. You're getting ups, you're getting downs, you're getting things that are just kind of even keel at the time. And so I think the first year for me has been a journey, and I think that's all you can expect from it, and it's good.
They are outside the playoff places in the Eastern Conference. Columbus Crew currently in 5th, 6 points ahead. Toronto FC would need to win both of their remaining games and hope Columbus don't pick up another point.
Look, it's a small crack in the door, isn't it, as Greg Vanney mentioned, but ultimately they've got to do their job today first and make sure they don't eliminate themselves and wait for Columbus to do that for them.
No Michael Bradley today. Nick Hagglund is missing. And no Jermaine Defoe for Toronto FC. So some players need to step up if this side that spent big in the off-season is to make the playoffs. A mountain to climb.
I think when you look at the MLS or pretty much every league, you could break it down into parts of the season.
As we get underway with Toronto FC in the red, only a win will do if Toronto FC are to at least keep their playoff hopes alive for 24 hours.
I would characterize the beginning of the season as a benchmark where the whole face of the team sort of changed.
Hi everybody and welcome inside Real Sports Bar and Grill in downtown Toronto. You can hear the atmosphere here. It is absolutely electric.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to the new member of Toronto FC. Please welcome Jermaine Defoe. I'd like to introduce another new member for TFC, and for our fans, please welcome Michael Bradley.
All right, Adrian Serio, there you have it, the big announcement. Jermaine Defoe and Michael Bradley signing designated player contracts with Toronto FC. Obviously a big day for this club. You can feel the excitement in here, and it's almost like you wish there wasn't snow on BMO Field. You want to turn around and get to work tomorrow.
It's been a busy year for sure, just in terms of everything that's gone into it. Coming in January, moving my family, trying to get everything organized and trying to get us settled off the field, while at the same time trying to integrate myself into the team and into the group as quickly as possible to get ready to really hit the ground running when the season started.
Since that day in January, this has been a moment Toronto FC fans have been waiting for. The season now underway for the new-look Toronto FC.
Seattle was still my favorite game of the whole season, and it was the first game.
Nice play through towards Jermaine Defoe, and And Jermaine Defoe, on his Major League Soccer debut, scores after 16 minutes, and Toronto FC lead in Seattle. It is all over in Seattle. Jermaine Defoe with 2 goals on his Toronto debut.
Great start to the season for their fans.
And the whole home opener to win it, you know, in the conditions and the way we did, it was great. It was, you know, you could tell there was something special here.
7 years, no playoffs. 6 and 8. It's hoped in Toronto will be a much different story. And Jermaine Defoe breaks the deadlock. It's taken 8 years, but Toronto FC finally win back-to-back games to start the season.
And I think there still is. It's just building a really good team. It's a process. And it's a process that's, you know, some are faster than others, some take time. As long as everybody's on the same page, then they always work.
Toronto FC, Montreal Impact here at BMO Field. Gilberto flicks it towards Moore. Jackson chasing forward here, and Bush quickly out of the area as Jackson goes down. Inside for Osorio. Quite an open start to this one through 15 minutes of play. Here's Luke Moore. Comes all the way back, and the shot from Creval, and Toronto FC have the lead. Warren Creval with a goal, 19 minutes in. His first for Toronto FC. Maybe there is still hope. 11 minutes to the break. In Toronto's final home game of the season, Morrow brings it down the left here.
This year was an interesting year for me. After switching teams, that was my first switch, my first trade. So I learned a little bit about that, and it was my 5th year in the league. So I think I progressed as a veteran, and I think I can call myself a veteran now after being in the league 5 years.
Justin Morrow, one of the players who has played the most this year for Toronto FC. This is his 30th appearance, past the 100 appearance mark in MLS last week in New York.
I think we started off strong, and then we never really got into a consistent patch where we were consistently winning and getting points.
Quite a start for Toronto FC. 3 wins in the first 4 matches. Last year, it took until the end of July for this team to get to 3 victories. Defended by Caldwell. Now this is Powers dancing through. Pulls it back, front post, it's knocked in. Colorado Rapids through Edson Buttle have the goal to give them the lead.
There it is, whistle to the mouth. Their game comes to an end. Toronto FC. This might be a tough one to swallow on the road, even though it's against a good Dallas team.
New England 3-on-3. It could get worse for Toronto FC here. That is the final whistle from World Cup referee Mr. Geiger as boos begin to ring around BMO Field, a 3rd straight defeat for Toronto FC.
When we were on the same page, we were very dangerous, and I felt like there were games where we could have beaten anyone in the league. And then there's also a majority of games when that's not there. And that chemistry is a very hard thing to find. And I think that's something we're still searching for.
But now here's Romero for Montreal. Romero up against Bloom. Romero lays it back for Felipe! Felipe with a fine finish, and Montreal tie it up.
And I think in the end, that was kind of what did us in.
This will be the last action of the first 45 minutes here at BMO Field. The first half that started well for the home team, but Felipe levelled it 6 minutes before half-time, and at the break here at BMO Field, it's 1-1.
Chance.
I see a spiral.
Omaha!
You should quit on that one.
Let's go Denver.
Hey, quit on that one. He's gonna stop there.
On the team, I have like a special feeling for a few guys on the team. It's the Toronto boys. You know, you can ask anybody on the team. You know, we stick together. We do. You know, from Daniil to Bex to Ashton to Manu to Q to Chris. Everybody, we're all close, and I like that. I like that a lot.
That's why we got a goalie, huh?
What?
just cheering for the lads, you know? Just here for the boys. That's it.
Oh wait, what, you want to see that? Jokes?
Before I didn't even like this guy.
Turn off the lights. I got showered with shaving cream, mouthwash, toothpaste,
Man.
hot chocolate powder.
Yeah. Not fair. What? You did that? You skipped it? No, but I really should brew.
This is what we used to do.
I think it's really special that, you know, there's a lot of Canadians on this team too. There's even Dero. Dero is more older, but he's there looking down, looking after us too.
1, 2, 3. That'd be the DE, the RO, the rhyme with a serious flow. Now if you never know, little do you know. The kids got skills, rhyming like bills, flipping on the mic. Yes, you know you're getting chills. Hearing my voice, hearing vocabs. Yes, you know I'm flexing, showing out the abs. Yes, you know the lyrics way back in the past. Yes, you know they used to call me fast like Flash.
I love you.
He is somebody that I think I was more familiar with as a player than anybody on Toronto FC before I arrived. Growing up watching the MLS, at the time there weren't players like him in the league, and he stood out like a sore thumb, and he was incredible to watch.
It's freezing over here, huh? Yeah, I know it's not cool. That's why I said it's freezing. Oh yes. Gets right in your throat. I'm a big basketball fan. Yeah. You know, grew up like in hockey, but look at Steve Nash, man. Call me Sure Shot. So the good old days, Winston Churchill.
Right below the Kango, belt buckle with my name, red and black steel toe, old school Chevy riding in it like a tank girl.
I grew up in pretty much every metro housing community in Scarborough. So I actually grew up in that building right there, apartment 202.
He's a player that has done it all, and I feel like he's like Papa Dero. Like he kind of takes care of everyone. Like he always wants to lend a hand, and I think that's one thing that Dero, he probably didn't have the season that exactly we wanted, but he had a huge role in who we were.
That's invaluable. You can't really put a price tag on that type of thing, to have somebody that experienced and such a quality player in pressure situations to have on a roster. And to be a part of a midfield that featured him every now and then, it's just an honor.
I think what I like about Danny, I think he's tenacious. You know, he's hungry to improve and hungry to learn. But you know, having him go to Wilmington, I think, was a blessing in disguise for him. He put his head down and he didn't let that environment bring him down. He took the opportunity and built himself from that, and got called back in and was able to play and start in some, you know, very big games.
On the bench for TFC, Dominic Aduro, Dwayne Rosario, Daniel Lovett, some of the attacking options for Greg Vanney.
You wonder if it's Dwayne Rosario's last appearance in Toronto as well, Luke. Obviously, his career winding down.
Right now, it's kind of, you know, to see you're at the end of the season, being that you've played for so many years, you kind of know once the season starts, everything's going to fly. Time's going to move, time's going to fly, games are going to come and go. So, you know, everything just moves very quickly.
Dwayne Rosario getting set to come in for Toronto.
But there's no place like home for him. There's no place like a player like that for him as well to come into this game. It's clear that the fans are back in loving Dwayne Rosario.
You would think we would see an urgency from the home team and everything being thrown forward. Gilberto feeds it for Moore, and here's Dwayne Rosario. Rosario across goal. Miller scoops it behind. There's Gilberto down the left. Gilberto with a nice ball back post to Doro. And out off Malice for a corner. Becker's ball out swinging towards the back post. Gilberto off target. 4 minutes of time will be added on for a Toronto FC team that needs a win to find a goal. Two minutes of stoppage time remaining as Bernier clears to Deville. One last chance for Toronto FC as Hasu Camara and Dwayne Rosario get into it, and it's a free kick here.
When football season ends, very unexpectedly. Like, it's much faster than you anticipate, for sure.
9 men for Montreal, one last opportunity for Toronto FC. Kyle Becker standing over him. Becker's ball in towards the back post. Drips over the bar. We've played 5 minutes of stoppage time. And that should just about be it.
You know, it's hard. You know, I feel for the fans. I really do. They're very, you know, they're missing that playoff, you know, experience, and it's been a long time.
I feel like because you're a local guy, you came back with the intention to bring this fan's success, bring this organization's success, bring this city's success, bring the sport in this city, in this country's success, and you feel like you let that down.
A season that started with fanfare and fireworks ends with Toronto FC missing the playoffs for an 8th year in a row.
You know, that's why I felt gutted. You know, you feel sick to the stomach because you know when you sit down and you look at the roster and you look at the guys we have, you know, you say this could have been a better ending to the story.
Toronto FC, essentially their season is done now. Playoff hopes out of the picture.
At the end of the day, Toronto's season's basically over, one more match to play, and just a little disappointing.
The reality is that it was a missed opportunity. We put ourselves in an incredible position, in 3rd place with like 4 or 5 games in hand, and you think we can easily just cruise the rest of the season and we'll make playoffs. And you know, sometimes it doesn't play out like that, and you miss that opportunity.
I don't think this year was a result of a lack of energy or a lack of effort. You know, we put everything out there, and when that happens and you reflect on it and you say, okay, I put everything out there that I could, then that's when you realize that you're just not good enough and you have to get better.
There is a truth, and it's a truth that is not known by most people. And the truth is that we took a step up this year. If the fans can see this and believe in what us and the players believe, then next year we'll be, you know, flying. We'll be flying at all cylinders. Like I said, the harder the struggle is, the bigger the reward is. So I think there's a huge reward waiting for this club, and I think it's coming soon.
Some people see things as they are and say,